Right, it's time to pull up my big boy pants and make a start on bodywork. Nervous. I'm starting with the Actros. I haven't done any other kits yet, so this is going to be my first one. I've watched several YouTube videos. I've got various instructions. So I got these off of a normal Tamiya kit builder. There's not that many lorry paint guides out there, but obviously they're the same plastic, I think, as the Tamiya kits, like the car kits and things. So I've just followed one of them. Obviously the clear plastic shells are different to the hard white plastic, so I've found one for that. I've got a long list of instructions on what to do. I've been to the suppliers and got all the stuff. So first things first is to give that a sand down with some 600 grit, wash it, dry it, and then plastic primer. So it's either going to go horribly wrong or I'm going to surprise myself. Here goes nothing. Right, so I've rubbed all the parts down. I'm going to paint in this batch with 600 wet and dry. I've applied plastic primer inside and out, 2 coats of that each side. Now I'm going to apply primer. I've got to do 3 or 4 coats of that. I'm going to do probably just 1 or 2 underneath and then 3 or 4 on the top, because I'm just going to blast some top coat and that on the insides as well, just in case you see any of it from behind. So I'm going to do all that. So yeah, first off, a couple of coats of primer on the backs, then flip it over and do 3 or 4 on the top. I'll come back when it's done. Now I've got white primer stupidly, so well, I say stupidly, it's white primer because the top coat needs white. So I don't know how easy I'm going to see it, but we'll see what happens. Right, so we've got 2 coats of plastic primer, and then we've got 4 coats of normal primer over the top. So now I can rub all them down before putting the top coat on. I did spill a bit of paint off the nozzle on that one, so that's going to need a bit of a rub down. But other than that, it all seems to have come out quite well. So I'm going to leave that to dry overnight, and then I'll come back and follow the next step on my list, which is leave overnight, then sand with 1000 wet and dry before applying the paint. So that's tomorrow's job. Right, so we've done all the priming, left it overnight. I've done the inside or the backs of all the parts with a couple of coats. So now we're on to the top parts. So it's just the first dusting so far. I'm going to do 3 or 4 coats, I'd imagine. About 15 minutes between each coat. And it's bloody hot today, so maybe 10 minutes, I don't know. We'll see how it tacks off. Getting there. Right, we've got 4/5. Some bits need a little touch up once you turn them up the other way. So 4 or 5 coats on. So I'm going to leave it overnight now, come back tomorrow, give them a wipe down, and then go with a lacquer. So I will come back shortly. Right, and that's with 4 or 5 coats of lacquer on it. I don't know, obviously it's all got to be rubbed down yet and polished, but I don't know. Seems to be alright, there's a bit of a shine on it. So we'll, yeah, it's now Thursday, so I'll leave these to harden off all over the weekend. Tomorrow's hottest day of the year apparently, so I'm going to stay at home tomorrow because it's like an oven in this workshop. So then Monday I'll come in, I'll give them a real fine wet and dry and polish them all up and see how they look. But it's taken a long time. This hobby is really time consuming. Okay, right, all the parts have been lacquered, 3 or 4 coats. They've been left for 4 or 5 days to go off. So now I'm going to wet and dry and try and sand them back. Obviously, I'm winging this, just going by what I've seen on YouTube. So as you can see, it's quite rough. So I'm going to go with 1000 grit, wet and dry, 2000 grit, and 3000 grit. And then once that's all done, we'll polish it up. There's that little overspray bit there, little drip that come off the nozzle. So I'm hoping we can get that out. So yeah, I'm trying on this bit first. So worst case, I can repaint it. So let's see how we get on. It's just a little simple case of wetting the paper and just sanding it back. So I'll come back once I've done a bit. Fingers crossed. Right, well, a bit of a disappointment with the paint. So I did everything that I saw on the YouTube tutorials, but I don't know if you could see it. It's still quite textured. No, I didn't fill them holes in. Yeah. I started rubbing it down to see if I could smooth it out. And I know the edges are normally thin anyway, but I don't know if it was showing the light. It didn't really smooth it down. I only did that little bit because I know the roof bit's going to be on top of there. So, yeah, I don't know. I've spoken to a couple of people and they said I probably shouldn't have used white primer as well as the plastic primer. I should have probably just gone paint straight on the plastic one. Or maybe rubbed it down more between coats, I don't know. So anyway, for now, I'm going to get some scratch checks. I've tried Ultimate Compound and that has smoothed it up a touch, but a lot of people say to use the scratch X, so I'm going to go and get some of that, see how it cleans up. I'm not holding much hope, but it is painted, so you know, next time we'll have to try a different method, maybe not use the white primer, do a bit more sanding in between. I don't know, never mind. Right, I'll start putting this together. And there we go, it's all painted, it's all put together. Well, the cab part anyway. Wanted to get a few bits done today, so thought I'd build the cab up. Looks quite good in orange. I won't get too close because you'll see the paint. Lesson for next time, but it ain't too bad for my first painted one. Hopefully it's not too bad. We'll have to do a bit more research and see if I can work out how to do it better, because I've still got the Volvo to paint, I've still got the T-cab Scania to paint, so we'll have to work out what's going on paint wise. But there we go. Obviously still got to do the chassis work yet, but it's getting there, another step closer. So I'll cut this one here. Right, well the Actros has got its third drive axle, so it's now twin steer TriDrive. I've locked the the first 2 rear axles. The very rear axle is open diff, the middle 2 are lock diff. Again, thanks to Scotty for that. So I just need to work out what to do with the big void we have. Whether I can extend the cab maybe, or I can, don't know, get something to go in there. I'll have to have a look, but yeah, it's getting there. Just waiting on for some more parts now really. I need an adjustable drive shaft and the wheel arches, need to decide what to do with them, whether I'm going to drill out and put standard ones on or whether I'm going to get some truck store ones, triple arches, don't know. So yeah, also need a Leisu cab latch like I've got on the Wrecker, but yeah, it's coming together. I don't think it looks too bad. It's definitely a 5-footer, but yeah, I'm pleased with that and the extended brooder. It's come out all right.